Today we are going to talk about a topic that I am absolutely sure has happened to almost everyone watching this. We're talking about those incredibly annoying little wounds in the mouth that seem to appear out of nowhere and hurt as if you had just swallowed a cactus. Yes, I'm talking about canker sores. If you have ever felt like you have an active volcano erupting in your mouth every time you try to eat something acidic or spicy, this video is definitely for you. We are going to break down exactly what these things are, why on earth they appear, and most importantly, how you can get rid of them as fast as possible. So stick around until the very end, because I'm going to share some specific tricks to prevent them from coming back, so you can avoid this unnecessary suffering in the future. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is happening in there? Canker sores, scientifically known as aphthous ulcers, are small, shallow lesions that develop on the soft tissues in your mouth or at the base of your gums. Unlike cold sores, which we will talk about in a minute, canker sores don't occur on the surface of your lips, and they aren't contagious. Visually, they usually look like small white or yellowish sores surrounded by an angry red border. You'll usually find them on the inside of the cheeks, under the tongue, or on the gums. And despite being small, they pack a punch. They burn, they sting, and they can make simple things like chewing or talking a total nightmare. Now, before we get into the causes, I need to clear up the biggest myth surrounding this topic. I hear this all the time. People panic thinking they are contagious. So, let's be crystal clear. Canker sores are not contagious. You cannot catch them from sharing a glass, and you cannot pass them to someone else through a kiss. This is often confused with cold sores, which are caused by the herpes simplex virus. The key difference, aside from the cause, is usually the location. Herpes or cold sores typically appear on the outside of the mouth, like on the lips or the hard skin around the mouth, and those are very contagious. Canker sores are strictly an inside job. They live on the soft, movable parts of the interior of your mouth. Typically, a canker sore has a lifespan. It usually sets up shop in your mouth for about 7 to 14 days before it heals on its own. However, that is a long time to be in pain. And if you accidentally bite it or keep eating irritating foods, you can prolong that agony. So, the million-dollar question is, why? Why do these annoying ulcers appear? It turns out, your mouth is a very sensitive ecosystem, and canker sores can be triggered by a wide variety of things. Here are the 7 most common culprits. Number 1 is simple trauma. You probably bit yourself. It happens to the best of us. You're eating, talking, maybe doing both, and snap. You bite the inside of your cheek. That physical trauma breaks the mucous membrane and can turn into a canker sore. This also happens if you brush your teeth too aggressively and the toothbrush slips and jabs your gums. Number 2 is stress and fatigue. It's fascinating how connected our oral health is to our mental state. Just like some people get breakouts on their skin when they are stressed, others get canker sores. When your body is under high stress or you aren't sleeping enough, your immune system takes a hit, and that vulnerability can manifest as an ulcer in the mouth. Number 3 is nutritional deficiencies. This is one people often overlook. Your mouth can act like a check engine light for the rest of your body. If you are low on certain vitamins and minerals, specifically vitamin B12, iron, folic acid, or zinc, your body might tell you by producing canker sores. If you get them all the time, it might be worth looking at your diet. Number 4 involves dietary triggers. Sometimes it's not what you're missing, but what you're eating. Certain foods are known to trigger outbreaks in people who are susceptible. The usual suspects are acidic foods like citrus fruits, lemons, oranges, pineapples, as well as chocolate, coffee, nuts, and very spicy foods. If you notice a pattern where you eat a lot of walnuts and the next day you have a sore, you might have found your trigger. Number 5 is hormonal changes. This is particularly relevant for women. Fluctuations in hormones, specifically during certain phases of the menstrual cycle, can make you more prone to developing canker sores. Number 6 is a bit more serious, and that's autoimmune issues or underlying health conditions. If you are getting canker sores that are huge, take weeks to heal, and come back constantly, it could be a sign of a broader issue like Crohn's disease, celiac disease, or other autoimmune disorders. In these cases, the sore is just a symptom of what's happening internally. And number 7 is a sneaky one: allergies to oral care products. Specifically, an ingredient called sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS. This is a chemical foaming agent found in the vast majority of commercial toothpastes and mouthwashes. It's what makes the bubbles. But for many people, SLS is too harsh. It strips away the protective lining of the mouth, leaving the tissue vulnerable to ulcers. If you are prone to canker sores, checking your toothpaste label for SLS is the first thing you should do. Okay, so you have a canker sore, it's there, it hurts, and you want it gone. How do we treat it to reduce the pain and speed up healing? While time is the ultimate healer here, we can definitely speed things up and make your life more bearable. First, try a salt water or baking soda rinse. This is a classic home remedy because it works. Salt acts as a natural disinfectant and helps reduce inflammation. Baking soda is great because it is alkaline, so it helps neutralize acids in the mouth that might be irritating the sore. Just mix half a teaspoon of salt or baking soda into half a glass of warm water, swish it around your mouth for 30 seconds, and spit it out. Do this a few times a day. Second, consider over-the-counter treatments like gels containing hyaluronic acid or corticosteroids. You can find these at any pharmacy. These gels are designed to form a protective barrier over the ulcer. A pro tip here: these gels work much better if you dry the area first. Take a tissue, gently dab the sore to remove the saliva, and then apply the gel. If it's wet, the gel just slides right off. Once applied, try not to eat or drink for at least 30 minutes to let it do its work. Third, look into natural soothing agents like honey or aloe vera. Applying a small amount of high-quality honey or pure aloe vera gel directly to the sore can reduce inflammation and provide a coating that relieves pain. However, a word of caution with honey: it is sugar. If the sore is right next to a tooth, you don't want to leave a glob of sugar sitting there all night, or you're trading a canker sore for a cavity, so be mindful of where you place it. Fourth, and this is crucial, modify your diet while you heal. This is not the time for salsa and chips. Avoid anything spicy, salty, or acidic. Also, stay away from very hot foods and beverages. Heat will just increase the inflammation. Stick to soft, bland, and cool foods until the sore closes up. Finally, if the pain is stopping you from eating, you can use numbing gels. Look for products containing benzocaine or lidocaine. You apply a tiny bit with a cotton swab right on the sore. It will numb the area for about 20 minutes, which is just enough time to eat a meal in peace. Now that we know how to treat them, how do we prevent them from coming back? Start by taking a look at your oral hygiene routine. Switch to a soft bristled toothbrush. Many of us use medium or hard bristles thinking they clean better, but they can be abrasive and cause the micro traumas that lead to sores. Brush gently. Next, as I mentioned before, try switching to an SLS-free toothpaste. There are plenty of options on the market now. I have seen many people completely stop getting canker sores just by making this one change. It's worth a try. If you wear braces or other orthodontic appliances, you know that the metal rubbing against your cheek is a recipe for disaster. Talk to your dentist about using orthodontic wax. You simply stick a little piece of wax over the sharp bracket or wire to create a smooth surface, preventing the friction that causes the ulcer. And of course, look at the big picture. Manage your stress levels and keep an eye on your nutrition. Ensuring you are eating a balanced diet rich in iron, zinc, and B vitamins keeps your oral mucosa strong and resistant to breakdown. Speaking of strengthening your mouth's natural defenses, there is something else you need to know. Many of us are unknowingly battling a hidden bacterial biofilm that regular brushing and flossing simply can't touch. This biofilm is often the real root cause behind decay, gum inflammation, and that constant sensitivity. I recently came across a presentation about a strange red dental foam cleanse that scientists are saying can target this biofilm and remineralize teeth overnight, doing what traditional products fail to do. If you want to see exactly how this 10-second ritual works, point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen right now. I've also pinned the link to that video in the top comment below. It's definitely worth a watch if you want to bulletproof your oral health. A final serious note. Most canker sores are harmless annoyances. But if you have a sore that lasts longer than 2 or 3 weeks, is unusually large, or if you also have a high fever or difficulty swallowing, please go see a doctor or a dentist. Oral cancer and other systemic diseases can sometimes look like an ulcer that just won't heal, so it is always better to be safe and get it checked out. I would love to hear from you guys. Have you suffered from these? Do you have a specific home remedy that your grandmother taught you that works wonders? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe we can put some of them to the test. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. We are building a community here focused on practical health tips to make your life better. Share this with that friend who is always complaining about their mouth hurting. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.